This is Sam from Uniondale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. The Knicks go into Detroit and take Game 3. Let's analyze. Folks, I'm not going to lie to you. Going into the Game 3, I didn't really know what to expect. I knew that you had a Detroit Pistons team who was basically playing with nothing to lose, with a chip on their shoulders, and playing a very physical brand of basketball, a throwback version of basketball from back in the day, back in my childhood, and being a little physical. Throwing Jalen Brunson to the ground, and then trying to get away, and there was something that Mike Breen or Alan Hahn, they brought it up that they weren't playing defense with their hands, but like kind of hip checking Brunson and everything. Say what you will, they've done it all, and you've got to listen. If it wasn't for Pistons on their jersey, I'd be like, all right, this is a team I rock with. You know, if it wasn't, they remind me a lot of the old Knicks. They really, truly do. But going into this game, I was a little nervous because a little concerned for this Knicks team because for the most part, I felt that the Pistons going into that game have pretty much controlled the series. They've done whatever they've wanted. They've had leads, other than game 1 where they lost the lead on that 21-0 run. You know, the Knicks, to me, struggled against this team until tonight. Going in, I said, I think the Knicks can, remember? The first video I made about this series, I said, you know what? Yeah, the Pistons are 3-1 against the Knicks in the regular season. But I got to analyzing, and I'm like, who's going to stop the size that the Knicks have in their front court? And I'm like, Karl Anthony Towns is special. And I'm like, if there is a reason for that Julius Randle Devo trade, it's for a series like this. This is where Karl Anthony Towns shows up and shows out. Game 1, he did well. Game 2, the Knicks, I told you, Jalen Brunson got a little baited. And game 3, Karl Anthony Towns, the Knicks got the memo. Jalen Brunson got the memo. Thomas Thibodeau got the memo. Feed the beast. Feed the beast. Feed the best center in the East. Feed possibly the best offensive all-around center in the NBA. Possibly. People want to say Joel Embiid. I don't think Embiid will ever be the same again. I just think Cat is, offensively, I think Cat is more gifted. That's just me. All around, I think so. But that's neither here nor there. Finish left, finish right, shooting, forget it. And Cat did his thing. Now, this game was interesting because it was very chippy. You saw Brunson get the flagrant one. You saw Karl Anthony Towns come to Mitchell Robinson's defense when Paul Reed. I've seen some very tactical things with the Pistons and J.B. Bickerstaff that you have to. You know what? I gotta applaud. I have to applaud them for some of the trickery that's being done. Paul Reed, a bench player, trying to bait Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. Karl Anthony Towns, really? And then, so try to bait Karl Anthony Towns into goonery and drama. Yeah, Carl Anthony Towns. I mean, he came through. He was like, "Yo, listen, all this soft talk, cut it out." And he tried to intimidate Mitch. And it's like, okay, whatever. Then Carl Anthony Towns had to come through and say, no, that's not happening. Look, listen. When you peel peel this back or whatever, you see that I told you on paper the Knicks are a better team. I said the Knicks are a team that are the problem for me on how far the Knicks could go was not on talent, was on did they have the cohesion. And I give Jalen Brunson a lot of credit for, I mean, even in the post game from game 2, he kind of immediately saw what happened, how he got baited into the nonsense and the 6 fouls and everything. And here, I think, and the crowd, I applaud the crowd for it. And it looks like, look, I don't think they thought that those wonderful chants that they were saying and, to Jalen Brunson, and I'm being sarcastic here, they gave Jalen Brunson the Trae Young treatment at MSG, and it didn't work because the Knicks had 4 players over 20 points tonight, and I believe, let me go to this, I believe the thing that stood out in this game as well was that Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns finished the game with 30 points. JB had 30 points. Cat had 31. Both were a +8, by the way. I'll tell you what, Mikal Bridges had 20 points, but he was a -4. Mikal, you were 3 for 3 from the free throw line and 3 for 8 from 3. So much better. The Knicks did much better. From the just in general rebounding, they closed the gap. 43 for Detroit, 40 for the Knicks. So obviously you want the Knicks to be better, but it's okay. They won the game, 118 to 116. And I'll tell you this: the only thing that I'm seeing here that I am not liking is that, and funny enough, the guy who was the Iron Man and led the Knicks in minutes played, Mikal Bridges, had 39 minutes. He's not leading the team in minutes anymore. I wonder if it's by design. And maybe they realize that, he's not as productive when you do that. So I don't know. But OG Anunoby, 22 points, and Mikal Bridges, 20. So the Knicks 4 stars had over 20 points, which is very impressive. The thing that's glaring though is the Knicks are not getting bench scoring like that. 9 points only. And you had Mitch played 16 minutes. Cam Payne and McBride played 9 minutes. Landry Shamet had 4 minutes. I don't know what Tibbs' thing is here for not playing these guys more, but what can I say? We got the dub, right? We got the victory. So, kudos to that. And I'll tell you what, if Tim Hardaway Jr., former Knick, doesn't go crazy, maybe the Knicks have they, for the most part, they had a double-digit lead, and the Pistons kept coming back. And he had, what did he have? He had 7 3-pointers. Of course, a former Knick is going to do that. But I got a question here. With the Knicks getting Game 3, I mean, have they taken a stranglehold on the series? I think that, and I know things don't carry from game to game, but I'll tell you what, I think the Knicks, I think this series is over. Calm down. Hear me out. I think this series is over. Here's why. I think all along I said this series is going to toughen the Knicks up. It's going to toughen the Knicks up. The crowd, serenading Brunson with those wonderful chants. Did you see Brunson, by the way? Had it not been for Game 2 where everybody came for Brunson, saying that he was not getting people involved. He got baited. I think Brunson would have hit the crowd in the fourth quarter when he was hitting the clutch baskets. But Brunson hit everybody he was looking around the crowd almost to say, yeah, where y'all at? You were saying? Huh? I thought that was hilarious. But I think this could be over because the Knicks are doing exactly what I wanted them to do. Feed Karl Anthony Towns, get other people involved, and then just let Brunson close the deal. It's that simple. It's that simple. You see that Jalen Duren had 5 fouls again. There's no answer for Karl Anthony Towns. And then you want, Tobias Harris is going to stop Cat? Give me a break. They have no answer for that. And if that's going to be the case, when is it going to? And then the Knicks figured it out. They slowed past the ball, pass. The double team come off the ball. They went back to their principles. So what else is J.B. Bickerstaff going to throw at the Knicks? What can he do? That's what I want to know. Because I just think that I told my boy tonight or yesterday, I said, after the game, I said, here's what's going to, I said, check this out. I said, I don't think the Knicks come back to Detroit for Game 5. He's like, I hope so. I hope not. I'm like, no, I'm serious. You heard how Josh Hart was talking. They have to come out. It's an early game on Sunday. But if you're the Knicks, I think the Knicks have taken the Detroit's punch. All right, you guys are going to be physical. But now what? What are you going to do? Mitchell Robinson and Paul Reed, they were looking at it like, it's tired. All right, we see. So it's going to be physical. But what else can they throw at the Knicks? What else? How do you feel about this, Knicks fans? Are the Knicks coming back for Game 6? Because I think it's a wrap. I think the Knicks get Sunday, and then what is it? Then it would be Tuesday? Wrap. Done. Game 5. But the Piston fans, they probably don't want to hear this. Knicks fans, is it over? What do you think? Am I being too disrespectful to the Pistons, or do you see what I'm saying here? I think the Knicks right now, yeah, the bench could be better right now, but that's on Tibbs not playing them like that. But I think if these 4 guys are going to be going off like that, especially if they were feeding Cat and Brunson, they're done. They're done. I'm not saying it's going to be blowouts or whatever, but I think at the end of the day, you feed Cat, you feed the others, you let Brunson close out, series over, party done, party over, and series over. That's what I'm thinking. But what say you? Now it's that time. First round of the NFL draft is over, and Shedeur Sanders is still on the board. Where will he be drafted? I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Folks, I'm on most social media platforms at SamIAnalyze. Please like, share, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, à tout à l'heure.